there's not a lot of potential for movement in this thing. So I'm going to compose my shots steadily, make them count, make every shot count. Making it count. Woohoo! Film, making it count. Alright, that's going to be the title of this video. Making it count. Kia ora guys, welcome back to New Zealand on a particularly wet and miserable winter's day. It's not flash. We've got a bit of a snow. We've got a bit of a snowstorm coming up. I mean, that won't affect us down here by the coast. But there's going to be a lot of snow hitting the hills to the west there, and generally when that happens we get a lot of wet weather, miserable. This is what we've got. So anyway, it's pretty cold outside, it's pretty wet and miserable. I've been inspired for quite a while to get back into a bit of film photography. Now there's a New Zealand photographer called Paul C. Smith. I'll put a link to his channel down below. For anybody that's not seen his work, it's beautiful. There's no dressing up, it's absolutely stunning stuff. And a lot of his stuff is film. And it's just got me thinking, I won't mind trying that, I fancy it. So, I've got a few film cameras at home, but nothing I want to get out and use. I've got the old Minolta Dynex 9, I've got the an old Fujica, I've got a couple of Bronicas, but I just don't want to use them because they're quite big and quite bulky, and I want something small and portable, like the Fuji X100F or the Fuji X100 series. It's small, pocketable, transportable, discreet, it's just beautiful. So I want a film version of that. Managed to pick up a little Olympus Trip 35 for about, I think I paid about $60 for it, maybe $10 delivery, so maybe, I don't know, $70 all up. It arrived yesterday. It looks in fairly good order. The only slight thing I'm a little bit worried about is the ASA stroke ISO setting. It feels a little bit flimsy, so it's kind of, it's on a ratchet, supposed to be on a ratchet, so you can set the speed, the film speed, correspondingly, but this feels really loose, and I've knocked it a few times and I've kind of knocked it off its setting, so I'm going to sort of maybe get a little bit of tape and sort of tape it on so it stays in that position that I want it. Other than that, it looks pretty good, it looks alright. Now I've used a roll of film, a Kodak 400 film that's been, I brought it out from England probably, must have been 14 years ago, 15 years ago. And how long it's been sat in my house in England prior to that is anybody's guess. I've not shot film, I've not shot 35mm film for best part of, I'd say about 18 years. So it's been a fair old stretch. So this roll of film, it's been halfway around the globe. It's been sat gathering dust for the last 15 years at least in New Zealand, and so I've loaded that. Probably not the wisest thing I've ever done in my life, but I've loaded that because I can't wait to put a roll of film through it and see what this little baby will do. I'm not expecting miracles. I'm not really expecting anything that's usable, but I just fancy giving it a go. So today the idea was to come down to the waterfront and just have a walk along the waterfront in Napier, just get a few random shots as I go along and see what happens. Unfortunately, the weather's turned sour, with a capital sour. So I'm going to still go down to the waterfront there, maybe have a walk into town, do a little bit of street photography. I've got about 24 exposures on this roll of film, so I'm just going to try and rattle off 24 shots as sort of quickly as I can, and then get the film straight into the lab, get it processed, see what comes back. If it's any good, good. If it's crap, I'll put them up anyway. Why not? Give you all a laugh. My sort of vision for this experiment is to, if it does work and I kind of get some usable shots or some potentials, my sort of long-term vision is to, okay, have a look around and get a true little rangefinder camera, film rangefinder camera. So maybe the Minolta CLE, I've been sort of eyeing them up. They're around about the $200, maybe $300 mark. Obviously used, good condition. So I might think about that. But in the meantime, Olympus Trip 35, I absolutely love the size of it, I love the simplicity of it, and the simplicity kind of worries me a little bit in that, is it so simple that it's going to fool an idiot like me? Quite possible. Like I said, the ASA setting is the big worry at the moment, but whatever, we'll see what we get. Now I've got it set on aperture, so no I've not. I've got it set on automatic mode. I've also set it to the infinity mark on the barrel there. Now I'm fully aware that this camera only shoots shutter speeds between the range of 40th of a second and 400th of a second. So I know there's not a lot of potential for movement in this thing. So I'm going to compose my shots steadily, make them count, make every shot count. Making it count. Woohoo! Film, make it count. Alright, that's going to be the title of this video. Making it count. Alright guys, from New Zealand for the time being. Catch you later. So I'm back from town. I spent maybe an hour and a half walking around town, just getting a few photographs of whatever I could find. Really, there wasn't many people about, unfortunately, because it's cold, wet, and miserable in the middle of winter, and it was a bit of a quiet afternoon. Having said that, I've come away with I don't know what I've come away with. I mean, I've taken some photographs. I've taken around about, I think it's about 23, maybe 24 shots I got out of it. My first thoughts are how simple it was to use the camera. My second thoughts are, Jesus, what have I done wrong? Because that was too easy. Like I mentioned earlier, the ASA dial, that's a little bit wonky, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. I did keep getting, in the internal window, through the viewfinder, you've got a little red flag that kind of pops up in the internal window, the small internal window. It didn't pop up in the main window. Now when that red flag pops up, that tells you that it's underexposed or overexposed. It just won't work. It's shot, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Time will tell. I've taken the film. I've taken the film into processing, and now starts the long wait. You know, to see what I've got, if I've got anything. Not sure at all. The experience shooting with the film camera, I kind of enjoyed it. It felt solid, it feels good. But it's the weight. This weight's going to do me head in. I know for a fact it is. Unfortunately, it's normally a 3-day turnaround, but unfortunately the guy that does the processing is away. So it's going to be a 7-day turnaround, which is, Jesus wept, mate, honestly, wow. It's been an hour, it's killing me. I can't wait. I keep looking at the back of the camera, nothing there. So I've just got to suck it up, buttercup, and just wait. Delayed gratification. It's all good, I think. So, guys, for me, that's it from now. Nothing more to say for the next 7 days. Maybe nothing to say at the end of 7 days, depending on how the film turns out. Alright guys, enough. Catch you. 7 days later. Sounds like the title of a movie, doesn't it? Anyway, kind of a disaster movie actually. Or is it? I'm not sure. I got the film back. Now they didn't print it. I asked them to print it as well. They didn't print it, so that sort of gave me a few sort of worries straight away. I looked at the negatives, and the negatives were very thin, really thin. Brought them home, put them on the computer, and the colours just gone, just completely gone. Colour film, it's just all greens and yellows and just crap. But what do you to be honest, I didn't expect much more from a 20+ year old film that's never been refrigerated. It's just been sat in a bloody cabinet. So I mean, I didn't do myself any favours there initially. Also put it through an old camera which I've never tested, I've never tried, so you know. So the results came back. I've converted them to black and white just to try and get something out of them. I've come with a few shots. I'm not overly disappointed. I mean, like I've said, I did myself no favours putting old film through there. The experience was good. The results, not brilliant, but kind of encouraging. It's I'm thinking, buy a film that's not 20 odd years old, and you see if I can sort of get a better result out of a new film. Alright, so listen, I've come up with maybe how many, 13 shots, 13 frames out of a 24 roll of film that have got a little bit of potential, you know, that I've managed to salvage a little bit from. The grain, it's like football size grain. It's just, I mean, it's a 400, or it was a 400 film, but it looks like it's a 3200 pushed to bloody 6400. It's just massive grain. So I've put a little bit of noise reduction on there, which has knocked it down a little bit, but it's not brilliant. They're not the best shots I've ever taken in my life. That's a given. But I like them. They're kind of, yeah, I don't know. I kind of like them, and it's encouraging me to do more of this. I think I'll try some more film photography. I like the process. I don't like the wait. Jesus wept. 7 days. 7 days I had to wait. I don't know if the wait was worthwhile, but yeah, listen, what can you do? I'll post probably 5 or 6 of the best shots on here. The rest of them are crap. I mean, I can't dress it up anymore. The rest of them are shite. Thanks for sticking with this. It's been a bit of a long mission making this one. Obviously 7 days worth of bloody waiting, you know, between shooting and getting the files back on the computer. But it's been interesting. I hope you managed to get something out of this. If there's a key lesson from this week's vlog, right? When you find an old roll of film that's 20+ years old, sat in a cabinet, leave it there. Forget about it. Just buy some new film. It's just not worth the hassle of bloody using an old film, unless you want some really funky, retro, wacky, weirdo results. Guys, I'm not very good at this self-promotion. Like, you know, I feel a little bit sort of, yeah, just not how I like to sort of work. But I need subscribers, I need views. Guys, if you've got a little bit of heart, right, just help out the little baldy fella there. Right? Give us a like and subscribe, and it'll go down a treat. Alright guys, from New Zealand, on a cracking morning, ka kite anō.